Coming up on Live Well.
All I know to do is pray.
I've kept the promise. Primary, you can vote in.
Brought to you by Mom Well Care Kit. Wrestling one mommy at a time. You should get yours today.
Hey guys, welcome to a special episode of Live Well. I am Marcello Thedford. I'm here alone today. I'm not with my co-host, my wife Trina. She's on location, taking care of some other things today, but we still have an amazing show here today right now. I'm sitting here with an amazing couple. They have a journey that I think we all should know about. So we talk about living well, right? So we're talking about eating well, living well. Think about relocating well, something to look at. And I want to introduce you guys right now to someone that I call them hard as a rock because they are the Stone family. Hey, how you doing, Stone? Glad to meet you.
What's up, Cello?
Dr. Stone, good to see you as well.
It's nice to see you as well.
I thank you guys for being here. And I see you got your son here.
Yeah.
Here as well. What's up, Tank? How you doing over there? Let me put the mic over to him real quick.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You doing good?
Yep.
You're so cool, man. Did the journey make you this cool? Was you always this cool?
I don't know.
I like his style. I see you used to chip up the old stone. I see that, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. So, so many things to uncover here. So many things to unravel. I mean, Stone, we've had some conversations here and there. Dr. Stone, you've been there in the midst of those conversations. And just tell me, everybody does things for their own reasons, right? But what puts you in the category to say, you know what, I'm going to just pick up and I'm going to go? Not just you alone, but I believe you brought a tribe with you, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Absolutely. My mother and my father, my elderly parents in their 70s.
Okay.
They took this transition with us. Yes, and
in their 70s.
In their 70s.
Wow.
Matter of fact, tomorrow, Pop's birthday, he'll be 73 tomorrow.
73 years old tomorrow. Is this his first time coming to Africa?
Yes, this is first time coming to Africa. When I was a young lad growing up in the house,
right.
Coming from the United States of America, in Ohio in the Midwest, Columbus, Ohio. Shout out Buckeyes.
Shout out Buckeyes. There you go. Shout out to the Bucks.
The Bucks. So, going there all my life, being raised in an environment, my father was always one that read books. He was always into information and research. And as we made this transition, I didn't know this. As we was getting ready to actually make this transition, he told me this was something that he always wanted to visit Africa.
Okay.
He told me that he wanted to be buried in Africa.
Wanted to be buried
Yes, in Africa. Okay. So this obviously was a lifelong dream that he wanted to do. And I'm just so happy as a son to be able to provide that in his older age, that his dreams or his desires of what he wanted became manifested here. So it's an honor. That's an honor.
Wow.
So it's bigger than life, man. This is bigger than life for me.
I mean, you got some generations with
Yeah, bigger than life.
Wow. I mean, you're changing things around. Are you the first of your family to touch Africa? Are you first generation?
Yes, I'm actually the youngest of 4 children, my parents' children.
You're the youngest of 4.
I'm the baby.
You don't look like a baby, but I'll take your word for it.
That's your opinion.
As I'm saying, you see how they do
That's your opinion, But yeah, I'm the baby boy. Was the one always in trouble, causing them problems and things of that nature.
Okay.
But as I matured, got older, got married, one of the biggest things that matured my life was my wife and my firstborn matured me.
Okay.
Firstborn at 20 years old, 21, made me grow up a little bit, come out them streets.
Where were you raised out of? Where are you originally from?
Midwest, Columbus, Ohio, north side of Columbus, Ohio, born and raised, in that environment out there.
Sounds like a pretty rough area over there.
To be honest with you, my parents, man, when I became about 4 or 5 years old, my father grew up in the hood. In a place called Windsor Terrace, which was one of the roughest areas in the 70s and 80s. My father grew up in that atmosphere. So when he had us as children, his whole aim was to get us up out of the hood, get us out. He didn't want us to grow up the way he did.
Okay.
So I grew up in the suburbs, believe it or not.
Really?
So, but the funny thing about this, when I used to get in trouble, my father be like, man, I took you up out of the hood, so you have to
go back.
But you going back to the hood.
Hey, you take him out of the hood.
Right.
Take the hood out of it. Is that right?
Right. So he used to say that all the time. But yeah, it was suburbs. We was actually almost like you're watching the Huxtables in the 80s.
Right.
Where they had kind of well off in the nice.
They were very well
They well off.
I wanted to be a Cosby kid. I was like, please send me. I want to be a Huxtable, you know? So,
Right.
yeah.
So I had that suburban first black family in our neighborhood was us.
Wow.
In our court, we was the first black family there in 84, around 84, 85. So
Wow.
So yeah, I had that experience.
So now you're the first black family that you're coming to Africa.
Yes, and
Wow.
out of my children, my brother, my sisters, it was me. You know, I've always been that guy that was adventurous, man.
Oh my goodness.
Always that guy, but they say don't touch that. I wanted to touch it anyway because I wanted to see. Because someone telling me don't do that, don't do that. I want to know why you telling me not to do it.
Right. Still want to touch it.
So I touch it, and it was like, boy, did I tell you?
I told you not to touch it, but you still took
Right.
Take the stone. I mean, this is your husband right here. So tell me, is he accurate? I mean, is he that kind of guy? I mean, how did you guys? How does this connect? Just tell me. How did you guys meet? How did it happen?
Wow. That's a long, interesting story
Long
So,
story.
As he stated, he's from Columbus, Ohio, and of course, I'm a what we call the Southern girl.
A Southern. What part of the South? What part of the South we talking?
So I was born and raised in South Carolina.
Oh, the Carolinas.
Yeah, the Carolinas. So we call it the Palmetto State. And so we met because after I went to college, in various states, I went to law school.
Okay.
And I went to law school in Columbus, Ohio, Capital University. And that's where it all began.
Okay.
I met him there. Again, as I said, I'm a shy person. I'm a shy girl.
You're shy. I wouldn't even
Quiet,
know. I wouldn't even
shy
know it.
girl.
Okay.
So
It's only going out to 100,000 people, but never mind.
Okay.
Never mind them.
I have to tell the story. So I'm a shy girl. So I had a friend that was in law school in Philadelphia, and she came to Columbus, and she decided, hey, we want to go out one night.
Okay.
I'm a shy girl, not a clubber.
Okay, not a clubber,
type
not
of girl.
your thing.
But she came, and she wanted to go out, so she wanted to go to a club. Didn't know too much about the scene in Columbus, Ohio. Again, good girl, shy girl in school, pursuing my law degree. So we went to a club, met him that night. Very interesting. There were a lot of people, coming, talking, and trying to pursue. Of course, I was a shy girl.
Want to holler.
I was a shy girl, right?
Right. They want to know what's up.
Right.
And all that talk.
And I thought, I was kind of cute that night. And I'm like, just kind of pushing everybody off.
You were shy and cute. You were shy and cute.
Shy
and
smart.
Well, hold on. Wait. Your husband's laughing. Do you agree to this story, or do you?
I'm listening.
Are you pleading the fifth?
I want to see how this play out. She got a version. She got her version. She got her version.
And my version is the version.
Right, the shy cute version.
Right.
Keep going.
So we were in this atmosphere. He's there with his friends. I think his brother may have been there that night.
Okay.
I'm there with my friend, from law school. And like I said, a lot of guys were coming and, trying to, speak to me. And again, me being who I was, really wasn't too interested too much. People are like, oh, why are you here? You don't even look like you belong here.
Right.
But so he pursued me. Being the person that I was, he pursued me, and I gave him a chance.
Gave him a chance.
I gave him a chance. I gave him my number. I'll see what let's see
where
what
this
he's talking
goes.
about.
Okay.
So we exchanged numbers, of course, and it all started from there.
Wow. Now, how many years we talking now?
90.
Get it right.
Whoa, not the 9 number.
Nine.
Number?
I know I don't look that old, man.
What do you? Yeah, facelift. What do you?
I mean, it's that now. It's the coconut water from Africa.
Oh wow! Shout out to the coconut water in Africa. We need you and we love
The
it.
juices and berries in the coconut, but it was 97.
97. Wow. Up until 2024 now.
Yeah.
24 years.
Been rocking with her, man, for a long time.
Long time.
Through the good and the bad, to the happy and sad, the Al Green,
Right.
through the R. Kelly, through the tears to the joy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's all.
He didn't see the level.
Right, I didn't see it all, man.
Man, that's amazing. So that was a good night for you that night.
Definitely.
You
all right.
Talk about a
You darn right.
Right. If you didn't go out that night, you would have been somewhere else. You wouldn't be with a stone, I tell you that.
That's right. That's right.
That's
And the
amazing.
stone wouldn't be with an angel.
Wow. So what would you contribute that many years of being together to? What would you say makes you guys stay together and wake up and say, hey, you know what? This was a good decision. This was the move.
Absolutely. Well, actually, Marcello, we just experienced 24 years of marriage last week.
Congratulations.
Last week.
December 3rd.
December
Are you
3rd.
serious?
December 3rd, 24 years.
I got people in the studio. Give a round of applause in the studio. But that's pretty amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
24 years. So again, but total it's been 27 years.
27.
Yeah, 27 years of me knowing her.
Right.
And us going through challenges and changes. And, for me, to be honest with you, Marcello, just to keep it real, 100, when I met her, again, she was in law school.
Okay.
She was in law school, and I was one of those dudes on the streets. Out there in the streets, drinking, smoking, doing. I was out there, man.
You should keep it in 100.
Young thugging, you know what I mean?
Young thugging.
Young thugging.
Okay.
And so when I met her that night, I had no idea her background, having a bachelor's degree, pursuing a doctor's degree. And I'm like, looking, so when we started talking, I got to know her. I realized, I said, I got to do a lot of lying.
Right. I better put my game up. When the brother say I get his game up,
It's lying. So I was selling. I was selling wolf tickets. You hear me? I was selling all type of stories and everything. I'm gonna be this
together.
Right. Because I knew. I said I didn't have the capacity at 20 years old to actually, deal with the type of woman that caliber. But I knew I had vision. I know there was something I wanted just at that time. I wasn't able to facilitate it, but I didn't want to lose her at the same time.
Wow.
And so, but again, me being young and immature, that came out, you know what I mean? Of course, she's like, okay, she got to see the real me. It was like, I'm getting out of here.
Right. I don't think I'm into this relationship.
Not only did she leave, but she left and went to Arizona on the other side of the world.
Wow, you bought a plane ticket. And it's a plane ticket.
Right.
And when Southwest is involved, flying or something.
And Southwest was involved.
She wanted to be, you talk about far away. Far
away.
Oh my goodness.
It was a great thing, man, because once she went away, I had to self-evaluate myself.
Right.
Hey, moms and moms-to-be. This is Trina McGee, and I'm so super excited to tell you about a great, amazing opportunity. Well, first of all, have you ever just dreamed that someone would just send you a package? Just out of the blue because you're the mom and you want to feel loved? A package about you, about your wellness, about your journey as a mom or a mom-to-be. Well, that wish is about to come true with the Mom Well Care Kit. Girl, you better grab that phone, grab that laptop, that tablet, whatever you've got, and head on over to the website. That is your way to get the personalized care that you need. What are you waiting for? Just sign and click on the link below. It's all there for you, the Mom Well Care Kit, waiting to be sent to you, waiting to pamper you. Remember, you're the mom. You're the heartbeat of the family, and everybody needs you. So take care of yourself. Thanks. From me and from Momwell, Trina McGee here.
Had time to really see what was important. And I recognized all the females I was messing with at that time. I realized that there was a scale and her worth was way up here, man, versus every other chick that might have been working at McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I mean? Burger King, Nando's.
Right, exactly. There you go.
You know what I mean? So, but I realized that there was character in her. And once I got myself together, got in the church, man, and everything, and came a minister in the church and everything. And then she looked at me. It's like, I see something. I see a quality in you that I could build with. And so we've been building like 24 years. And that building caused me to actually provide her enough confidence in me to lead her to come out to another continent.
Wow.
That's trust. That's
a lot of trust.
That's building, man. That's building. That's us coming together in one accord, using past experiences past pains and past hurts.
Yeah.
We had some challenges.
No,
in our marriage.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Dr. Stone. Spirituality. He was talking about church and all that. How important is that to you guys a relationship, or to you guys relationship? What would you say to that?
Actually, it's very important. My husband will tell you our marriage, the foundation of it is actually built on spirituality. I'm what I could consider myself to be an intercessor. Prayer is what I do. You know, everything that we do is built on prayer. He'll tell you before we make decisions about things, I'm going to pray.
You're going to pray
if there's
first.
something that's placed before us, and in my discernment, I just don't feel right about it. He knows the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pray. And when I pray, I always pray most high. If this is not something that we should be a part of, or that's not good for us, let it pass by us. And we've seen it. And throughout the course of our marriage, we've seen that happen. And things that were not advantageous for our family, most high have let it fall to the ground, or let it, move away. So, prayer is always, and spirituality has always been at the forefront. And I'll say this, when you talk about spirituality, and even when, we talked about when we first got together and we parted, when we did get back together and did get married, prayer was a part of that. Because like you said, I was on one path, he was on another path.
Right.
He got himself back together and he was coming back. So, me, the path that I'm on, I'm looking like, I have to be sure. When he came back, I have to be sure. So what did I do? All I know to do is pray. From a child, from my mother's womb, I was raised in the church around prayer. My family, prayer, ministers, evangelists, teachers, that's all I knew, So I prayed and I asked a specific I had a specific prayer request. And this I'm going to put, this is a plug out for anybody that's looking to get married. There was a specific prayer, and I'm not going to say what that was, but there was a specific prayer that I asked that I knew that if this was answered, that this is my confirmation and my answer.
Right.
And it was.
Wow.
So I knew based on that I should move forward.
Right.
Because like he said, hey, listen, I moved back. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
I went across country.
Right. Exactly. You
like, listen, I'm on a certain path. Yeah. So I have to be sure before I reconnect, again. Yeah. So we did. And going back to, what you mentioned earlier, 24 years, prayer, a lot of prayer, working at it. I would tell couples, marriage is not like a microwavable type of thing. With the new generation, it's like, you get in it. If there's something about my partner I don't like, I'll find somebody else that may be able to, fit this particular quality, but you still have these qualities over here that you're not going to get in that person.
Right.
So
very much
why not work through it? I mean, unless it's something that's just horribly, bad, physically abusive situation, stuff like that. I'm not going to tell anybody to stay in that. But if it's just like, he snores a little bit too loud.
Right, right. How you going to go find something like that?
She's saying something. She's throwing off.
Are you saying Stone is a snorer?
Yeah, she's throwing it off right now.
Are we getting some inside information?
So, yes, I snore, right?
I want to confess. I'm a Stone snorer. Just want to know. He admitted it. And the first thing to admitting is admitting.
So again, I'm just saying little things like that. You work through it,
right?
And that's how you make a marriage last 24 years. You work through it. You don't give up easily.
You don't. Right.
Hey, you might get mad. I'm upset with you. It might take me a little day or two to pipe down.
Right.
But I'll be back tomorrow. Give me a little space.
Yeah.
You have to look at it like that. It can't always be. You said something, did something. I'm going to jump out and I'm going to find this person down the street. What you're going to find is that saying, the grass is not greener on the other side.
Thank you.
Is really not. It's astroturf.
Ooh.
It's astroturf.
Shots fired. That was hard. That was hard. Oh, no, wow.
So you're going to find out, work through it.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Think about what brought you to that person initially.
Absolutely.
Look at those strengths. Look at how you've grown. Look at what you've been through. Take those vows seriously. For good, for worse, for richer, for poor. We've been through all of that.
All of that.
The health issues, the health, and you stay. You don't leave when times get hard.
That's when it counts, right?
And you stay.
That's when it
you
counts.
Pray, you stick, and you stay.
You pray, you stick, and you stay.
Stay.
Oh, you might go viral
Grass
for that.
is-
You
the
pray,
grass
you
is-
stick, and you stay.
Hey, it's not greener.
I like that. You know,
It's not greener.
it's not. It's listen. It's I tell people, relationships like you guys are not for the faint at heart. It's for people that want to stick in there and understand that better days are coming. You know, and greater things are coming, like the move that you guys have recently made and bringing generations. And imagine if you wasn't together, all those generations probably wouldn't came together. You know, I mean, your union is not just for you guys, but it's for all people around you now. You guys have that responsibility, you know, because people look at you as a pillar of anyone who's been together 24 years. That's a standing pillar of credibility at the end of the day and validity. So I commend you guys on that. And now going back to coming to the continent and everything, and now I understand why the union was so strong that you was able to lead your family in such an amazing journey, which a lot of men, unfortunately, in this day and age, are not able to do. To be in a position to do what you're able to do and how you do, and I commend you for what you've done. Now that you've landed here, is it everything you would hope it would be? Is it has it done anything more for that of your marriage, or your union? Talk to me on those aspects.
Yeah, it's quite naturally. Anytime you make a shift or a transition like we made, you really don't know what to expect.
Understandable.
First time we came here was in January of this year.
Oh, you just got here this year.
Well, we visited in January.
Okay.
So that was the first time. Last year I made a voyage to Ghana. Last year with one of my artists. Ghana was beautiful. But just to be honest, knowing my wife, my daughter, they have a certain climate that they live in. An expectation of living. And so when I was in Ghana, I didn't show my wife a lot of pictures. I showed her certain things, but some of the things that I know that her taste, because she's on a certain standard. You know,
really,
right?
And she
Blame it on me.
maintenance,
right? Exactly. I didn't want to use booze during that like that.
Go for the B. I was going for the booze.
I'll take that B word.
She'll take the booze.
This says she was on a higher standard. So certain things I didn't show her, and I kind of knew. I said, if we make a move. Ghana might not, even though it's rustic, it's rural, and I like it, but for my family too, it wasn't that. So when I went to South Africa in January, and I brought her with me, and we fell in love with it. If I could really be honest,
please do.
It reminded us of America. It reminded us of how we lived, the malls, the restaurants, the diversity, as far as cultural-wise, of people here. It reminds us of America. So this was more of a settling situation where we was settling here, and when you settle here, it's almost like cultural differences.
Okay.
So things that we were used to doing, as far as business, it's different here.
Okay.
It's more of a laid back.
It's definitely a different
vibe.
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
But laid back vibe. We come from America. It's like, let's go, Jack. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
We aggressive Americans.
Exactly.
Like, we want something done. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
America has trained us like that since we were
right
to be these machines of errands.
Yes. And so now you come and bringing that mindset to South Africa,
right?
When you're looking like, okay, I call for maintenance, and you expect the maintenance to be here the next day,
right?
Maintenance showed up 4 or 5 days later,
right? No problem, right? But having no problem, he showed up.
Well, listen,
there's no problem.
And here's another thing: when we first got here, for the first couple of months, my father had a little episode.
Okay.
And so us being new here, only like a month and a half here, we're like, okay, let's call 911. Right. That's the first thing in our mind. And we looking like, they ain't no 911. So we looking like, okay. So we panicking like, oh. So we live in a district where, they give us panic codes. We have a little thing if something goes on in our community.
Okay.
You press a little button. So we press the button. So we understood that the emergency people were going to come. So in America, we like, okay, you call 911, they will be here like in like a good 15 minutes.
Right, quickly.
Or less.
Oh, less, actually.
Man, listen, that doggone emergency truck came like an hour later.
An hour later.
Then when they got there, I'm looking like, bro, come on. They were slow bopping like the brother man from Mark.
Yeah, it's time. Playing little music. Like,
I'm like,
they can watch. They gonna get there when they get there.
Yep, man, listen, I flipped out, man. I was like, what in the world? But that was a understanding of how they do things here, you know what I mean? So we have to understand that was the biggest challenge of being here was just understanding the business, how they do business. It's not aggressive. We're aggressive. They're not aggressive. So what do? You got to find the middle ground in between.
No, you got to find the middle ground in between. And the thing is, it's not even like, even in that situation with the ambulance worker, it wasn't being rude.
Right.
You know, it's just how they do things.
Exactly.
You know, I find myself many times out here, not many times, but I find myself at times my words being misconstrued, you know, because of the approach. People listen to the tone rather than the words.
Right.
And I think in the States, we definitely listen to the words and we know what the tone already is about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're more analytical
Yeah.
with our language of English, with the actual word, than we are to that of the emotion.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of more emotional speaking here where it comes from an emotional place rather than a logistical or logical place.
Yeah.
At times of understand what this is what the words actually
Exactly.
and these are the words they actually say. You know, and I think sometimes even when you're dealing with your own people, they just you get comfortable and they miss that contract of English, of the words that we exchange to each other to go ahead and formit a deal,
right,
or an agreement, or a time, or a location,
right,
or what happens, you know. So yeah, I've seen people be frustrated on both ends on that.
Yeah,
I've seen South Africans be frustrated on that. I've seen diasporans being frustrated on that. But till I experienced it for myself, up until recently, I said, wow. I said, this, you know, for example, like we say certain terms in English, right? You know, we have certain. Okay, so the other day I said, I can only go from real experience here. Other day I said to someone I know, I said, "Talk in the wind," right? Talk in the wind. Talk in the wind, as we know where we're from, talk in the wind means that you're saying something to me, but it's not concrete at the end of the day. So therefore, I respect what you're saying, but at a later date, I'm assuming we're gonna go ahead and formalize that event. So it's not like it was never said; it just was never contractually said, where I can respect it that's what it's gonna be. You know, so things like that. So sometimes it's better to over-explain yourself, I guess, a little bit of time, so that way you kind of show a little more, you show grace, show a little more grace. Right. You know, that you go through sometimes, you know. So those are the type of things I see, but you're right, you know, there are those cultural differences when you get there. Now, did it surprise you when you got here? Well, I'll say it like this. What we see in the States is the propaganda is what they say in the States, the propaganda see, is that what Africa is to you?
Listen, coming from the States, and I'm a straight shooter.
Straight shooter.
As growing up in elementary school and growing up in middle school in America, we were taught and given images. Right. Imagery. Right, correct. Propaganda imagery. And we was always taught that Africa was a place where little kids are starving. Yes. Their bellies is swollen. There's flies flying around them, and they're hungry and poor. And there's giraffes and elephants running around, and monkeys and apes running
from a tree.
Right. And so again, that's the image that was put in our minds. So So when we see children or kids like in America, we tease them based off of what the propaganda. Absolutely. Like, for example, we saw a kid that was real dark. you now become an African booty scratcher.
Right. That was actually said in my school,
Right.
growing up in school.
Right.
And if you were really dark, you were hated on.
Right.
You were despised.
That's right.
They'll make jokes about you being
Right.
so dark. I remember that clearly growing up.
That's right.
You know, and that particular statement you said was said commonly.
Yes.
And how now, knowing what we know now, we understand that's extremely offensive and
Very much so. Very much so. It's very, right now, me being in the age that I am now, I think about those things and how the propaganda that was pushed upon us, it angers me, if I could be really honest.
Yeah.
Because our people are being deprived from the richest soil on the face of this earth.
Agreed.
We're being deprived from our families that we were taken away from.
Yes.
We're being deprived of an inheritance that was given to us through scripture that belongs to us. And because of this propaganda of people that really don't have our best interests in mind,
Not at all.
now we are cutting our generations off for experience of generational wealth. This land here is so rich in soil. This land here is the glory of all lands.
Absolutely.
And you will not know it if you go along with the propaganda. This is why I'm an advocate now for people to come back home
Absolutely.
to experience. Don't take what you've been told by anybody.
Nobody.
But you come and you touch down with your feet, take your shoes off when you come here. You let your feet connect with this soil.
Yes.
You connect back here.
Agreed.
Because again, the lies and the manipulation is diabolical on a whole nother level of people, the same people who said, hey, Africa is this, they're hungry babies, they're starving, there's monkeys there.
Terrible.
These are the same people that have their hands elbow deep into the continent, and they are actually raping the minerals.
Yes, they are.
The chocolate, the gold, the platinum.
Absolutely.
All these things grow here, but you tell us don't come back. But yet you are knee deep here, mining and taking advantage of what's going on.
Absolutely.
And you can see I'm more passionate right now, brother. Like, you know what I mean?
I love what you're saying because you not only are they taking, but they're giving nothing back to them.
Nothing back.
Nothing back.
Nothing back.
And they're doing that on purpose.
Yes.
That's an act of evil. Yes, that should be a crime to humanity at the end of the day.
Yes.
Of what's happening. So I totally agree. I'll share this with you, Dr. Stone. When the first time I stepped foot in Africa this year, okay, it was bittersweet because when I actually touched the ground and my wife had looked at me, Trina, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't get back the years that they took from me."
Yeah.
I knew how good it was the minute I touched down on this ground, my feet touched. And all I could think about is you took so many years from me that I can never get back. And that was the bittersweet moment that I had at the time.
My.
You know, so and I knew that my bones would rest here. You know, that was just my mandate or where I was at as a person. So I share that with you, Dr. Stone, because I'm about to ask you as a woman, what does it do for you? Because I could resonate with him as a man because of his passion for his journey. What has it done for you, and what do you think it will do for other women if they were to go ahead and experience what you've experienced up until now?
Well, just to, I will add and share that.
Yes.
I share the same sentiment that my husband just expressed.
Yes.
But to talk about what it's done for me and how you talked about what has been taken from us.
Yes.
You know, being back at home. And as a woman, think about your health. These type of things have been taken from.
Right.
Coming here to the continent, I've learned for me personally, dealing with issues of like high blood pressure and certain issues that women experience. And I'm just going to be candid for the crowd here.
Absolutely.
Things like, fibroids that we as Black women deal with, coming here to the continent. I'm seeing how the food makes a difference in these various conditions that we have. So being back at home, the foods that I was eating, the chemicals that were in those foods, the high fructose, the corn syrups, the sugars, all these different things. all the preservatives, these things were stripping me of my health, stripping me of my vitality, causing me to have these issues, womenly issues that many Black women have,
yeah,
you know,
that we're aware of, yes.
So, you know, being out here and experiencing the food that does not have these, what I would say, poisons in them, natural foods, foods that don't have a lot of preservatives, I'm seeing a decrease in my blood pressure, with my health. My husband will tell you, I've been kind of monitoring that situation. I've took some herbs and some different things that I'm working on, and I'm monitoring that, and I'm watching how those particular herbs in a beverage form is bringing that hypertension and those numbers down.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that at a later date.
But that's so interesting. I agree.
Yes. So, you know, I'm seeing those type of things. So, you know, you come back here and you get your vitality back, get your health back. These conditions that you have, you see them begin to dissipate and just start to go away. All the stress that we experience, especially as women, Black women in America, you know, like we talked about the hustle and bustle. We're always going.
Yes.
And a lot of times you find yourself, you suffering in silence. Your health is suffering, you know. So, but over here you have a chance to just take a step back and breathe. You know, for example, we talk about our transition here, you know, getting off the plane and walking up that tarmac, if you call it. It's almost like the when the air hit us, it was like like a jolt.
Exactly. It was a spirit that hit you.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So, you know, you just see gradually that change.
Wow.
You know, so for me, I see, you know, that change. And, you know, hopefully as we are here, you know, I'll be able to help other women see how they can work on their bodies. Even for me, you know, from a weight perspective, you know, overall health. I've started on that journey. My family, we started on that journey, you know, here. You know, we work out together as a family. We were taking boxing classes and things as a family. So that's the journey. All of that, you know, we're seeing here, we have more time to focus on that here. Now that, you know, we don't have that 8 to 5, that constant hustle and that constant grind, you know, so it's doing us well. And we want others to see how it can do them well, just like, you know, it is with us.
No, and you said it well. I mean, you're talking about living well, right? Live well.
Living well.
You said something. You jumped on health, which is critical. You know, and my wife, she's had issues as well. She dealt with fibroids and other things. I'm very aware of those issues that women have these days. And we see that a lot happening in Black women. And I think we might have an exodus of more people coming out here, based on where we're going in the healthcare system now. You know, it's a crazy time in the healthcare system. We just had. In the States, you might not know about this, guys, but a few days ago, we just had an assassination happen in New York with the Universal Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson's 50 years old. It happened in broad daylight about 6 a.m. in the morning, and a man came up behind him, shot him in the head, shot him in the leg, and then shot him in the head, and engraved 3 letters on the bullet that went inside of the man that he murdered, this CEO. Wow. And it was based because the healthcare system has not been good to anybody, especially not that people of color. Black people have been dealing with a lot for a long time in the healthcare system. So it's a world right now, I think, where our own people are waking up and saying, you know what, if I'm going through certain things, I might want to go ahead and try these herbs. I might want to go ahead and start doing some self-medication to some degree, some holistic practices,
Absolutely.
The things that you're doing. And it's not even just about the healthcare. Like it's an overall diet of your life now, Dr. Stone, with location, with that of surrounded with family, quality of life, as I'm sure for you, has went up drastically at the end of the day. Absolutely. And has allowed you to even have a self-confidence, which I know for me is, but I've had self-confidence, but it's put a renewed self-confidence, I should say, where I want to take better care of myself, you know, to my best optimum way that I possibly can. And you find remedies of things like that. My wife in the States, she loves something called black seed oil. Black seed oil she swallows and she drinks, very, very healthy for you, regulates your body and everything. Find it in gallons out here. Gallons, literally. Couldn't even find it in the States the way I was before. You know, couldn't find some of the ingredients. As you know, in the States, most ingredients in the States are banned. And a lot of other countries don't. you know, and in this country, we eating the meat is delicious. The meat is more organic. It's actually organic, not not U.S. organic.
Right.
You know, whatever that is. You know, pumped up with oxygen, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know, but it is pretty remarkable to take health into your own hands at times, and we might be in a world where we have to do that now.
Absolutely.
More than ever, because I don't think going to the doctor is what it used to be anyway. I mean, sitting in the emergency room, you know, not that you want to, but it used to be more of a personal relationship. If I remember when I was younger, now I think it's like you're just a number.
Yeah.
The number.
Just a number at the end of the day. You know, what do you guys? You say you have family that's 73. The parents are out here and everything.
Yeah.
Where do you find yourself as a family? What do you think the goal is as a family? What would you like to see you guys do in the next upcoming year to 2 years or so?
This is what I like about Africa. South Africa. You could be whatever you want to be.
Whatever you want to be.
Out here.
Wow.
The opportunities is endless when you come out here.
Wow.
If you have a business that was in the States, it might not have been striving the way you want. Come on out here to your brothers and sisters out here. It's a different atmosphere.
I agree.
It's
totally.
it's almost like a new lease on life.
Yeah.
When you come out here. So in the States, I was very, very involved musically.
Musically.
Yeah.
I heard something about you doing stuff musically and everything. Tell me about that. You know, so Stone the producer.
Yeah.
Stone the music producer.
Well, I started out in the church atmosphere in the States, and you know about the church atmosphere in the States. You got you got the guitars, you got the you everything, everything. So as a little kid growing up in church, my parents raised me in church. So it was super exciting to go to church for me. Some kids, they didn't like going to church. I did because I got to see music.
Got to see music.
I got to see people sing and people be joyous in their belief system. And so that grabbed me at an early age. Around about 7 to 8, I was fascinated with the drums. And my brother-in-law, he was the drummer of our church, man. And then I used to sit there and watch him and stare at him. I was like, man, one day I'm going to get them sticks and do what he's doing. Well, fate had it. Maybe like 3 or 4 years later, my parents left that church and went to another church that did not have a drummer. We didn't have no musicians. And so that was my opportunity. Opportunity is there. So the pastor brought a drum set. Me at like around 11, 12 years old, hopped on the drums. There was a gentleman that came from out of town. He was what you call a prophet. Called me out, prayed for my hands, and said, "Hey, you're gonna be a drummer. You're gonna be a good drummer." And man, listen, he prayed for me. I started playing immediately. Playing the drums. I wasn't that good at first, but eventually I got better every week. Man, around the age 14, I wanted to start singing. I was like, "Yo!" So in the school.
You want the drums and you want to sing?
I wanted to sing, man. Yeah, man. I was listening.
You too much.
I want it all.
Game right first.
I would listen. The music was in me, man.
He heard the song. The song was even done. He heard it all in his head, but you can't sing it.
It was in me, man. So I joined the choir at my school. Had my first solo, 8th grade, and then went to high school. Kind of left the band stuff because I was already playing at church. So started vocalizing and. You know how it is in school in the 90s. You had Jodeci, you had Boyz II Men.
Man, that was our time.
Yeah, man. So we used to...
That's taking me back. Oh, man, that's my joint.
We used to be in the hallways singing, harmonizing, singing. Yeah, man. Shot. All that, man. All that. So, so after school and everything, and then when I met my wife, in 2002, I wanted to start a young men's group. Like you see, it was more based off of gospel. The Gospel Grapes Quartet, like the Can't Spirituals, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, and all these different Jackson Southerners and stuff. So I formed the group with a young brother in 2002. you know, as the years went by, man, nobody was booking us. We was terrible, man. I was at that time. We was terrible, man. We was terrible, man. Nobody would book us, and if they did book us, they would throw us as guinea pigs on the stage with like 2 people there and stuff like that.
Right, just throw it.
Yeah, man. Right, you know, the microphones, I mean, we try to sing it. Terrible, man. But what happened was, man, around, you know, we had a lot of in and outs trying to get guys to be consistent. But around 2010, man, something began to happen. I got a nice unit. We went to Bobby Jones Network on the Word Network.
Oh, yeah, Bobby. Yeah.
Our manager at that time believed us, paid for that. We went on there, and Bobby Jones completely fell in love with us, man. Loved us. Then a couple months after that, we went to something called the All-State Gospel Superfest Contest.
All-State Gospel.
Yes, it was about 50 groups from just awesome groups from all over America.
That sounds like a lot of energy.
Oh man, there was a award 2,500 prize. That was enough for us.
Big, yeah. We up in there.
Right. Right.
Sing.
Exactly. So out of all the groups, we won the contest, got the money, and then from that point, it's like our career went to skyrocket to a whole nother level, man. We went on BET. We got nominated for Stellar Awards. We was on every TBN, Word Network, every gospel network we was on.
Okay.
We was hitting the charts with Kurt Franklin, Mary, you know, all these different people. So I found myself living a dream out. And so what happened was at that point, we had great success. But one of the greatest things in my life took place around 2010. My wife got pregnant.
Okay.
And during that time, you know, we had our first daughter before we got married.
Okay.
But for some reason, we could not have a child while we were married. So 10 years went by. We was married for 10 years. We didn't have no child in our marriage.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And this young man that's sitting next to me came in. He was born in 2010.
Okay.
And when he was born, something just charged in me, because at an early age, I saw in my son musicality that I'd never seen in young people. My son at 6 months had the ability to take his hand like the Fat Boys back in the day where we come from and beatbox.
Really?
At 6 months. And everybody would be amazed, like when I take him in different settings, like, your son beatboxing at 6 months?
Yo, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Beatboxing that, you be like, I like that.
So I'm like, okay. And then around 2 or 3 years old, we bought him his first drum set.
Okay.
And at 3 years old, my son had the ability to get on drums at 2, 3.
And started finding, he wasn't just like bang, bang.
No. He's making rhythm beats.
Yes.
And I was looking at him like, okay. And
there's something here.
Right. And so he would mimic the musicians in my group.
Okay.
Like he'll take his little baby SpongeBob laptop, and he'll get some earphones, and like he was producing and making beats.
Okay.
And so at that point, I knew that my son had a future in music. I was like, okay, this is it. So, you know, I would watch, and this is crazy, because in 2010 and 11, they was running Jackson 5 cartoon reruns.
Okay.
And I would find my son sitting in front of the TV watching Jackson 5 cartoon. Like, I mean, he was glued in every time it came on.
Watching.
And this came out in our era. You know what I mean?
That's old. They drew Michael Jackson old. They don't even draw like that.
Right.
It was like some Sunday comics.
Right. So I was looking like, and I knew in him that there was a special gift that my son was given from the Most High to do music. And so as he began to get older, I watched him. My son would not only buy him more equipment bit by bit, and he'll take some of my old equipment I had from my group, and he'll find himself making beats on the keyboard.
Okay.
I'm like, look at him. He was able to take a keyboard, you know, and you could, you know, on the keyboard you have the beats on it, you know, and you could tap on the keys. My son was making beats 4 years old. You know, yeah. I'm like,
Driving, you making beats.
Right. I'm sitting downstairs. I'm looking like, what's that? And I go upstairs. It's him. Look, Ken's feet dinging off the chair.
Oh my goodness! Like, a little production studio
Already.
Goodness. And what age was this?
This was like four.
That's at 4.
4 years old.
That's at 4.
4 or 5 years old. He was very inclined in it. And again, that was my studio in the house. And he'll be in there. I'll stop, being there. He'll be in there late at night. I had to tell him to go to bed,
Right.
So it was in him. And then, he's 14 years old now. Okay. And my son has produced music on a level that as a father and doing music for over 20 years, I'm thoroughly impressed. And I'm not just saying this because he's my son.
In your eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm amazed at the gifting that the Most High has downloaded in my son. So to be able to take this ability that he has from America and bring it here to South Africa is a blessing more than anything. Because, America is saturated. The music is saturated. It's a lot.
A lot of people in their studios, home studios, and all that. But to bring that kind of talent out here for it to be used on the continent, that's a gift. And it's not really bringing the music of him. We don't know. He's 14. Yes. We don't know what else he's going to do. You don't know what else he's going to touch.
Exactly.
You don't even know if that's where it stops at. So that is a blessing. Actually, I want to talk to Tink.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Tink. He's so cool. I gotta sit like Tank. I gotta do a Tank pose. I like how Tank talks. What's up, Tank? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Hey, you see how cool he is? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he's so cool. You see where he gets me? So Tank, tell me. Dad's telling me about music. Is music a passion of yours?
Oh yes. I love music a lot. My whole heart.
Really?
Music is like therapy to me. When I make beats, I listen to people's albums, obsessed with people's albums. I'm trying my best to learn music theory, all that stuff.
Beautiful.
I have a love for music.
You have a love for music. So would you think, I think, I'm going to guess you probably, because of the talent your father tells me that you have and your mom tells me about, I would think you hear things a little different than the way we hear things. To be able to produce the music that you produce and where it comes from. When you think about putting a song, producing the track or putting a beat together, where does your mind first go to? I mean, what corner of your brain do you say, all right, I like that. I want to start with that. How does that work for you sometimes?
So, I just say when making my music, a lot of stuff just comes from my head.
Okay.
And, the piano that I have, I just try my best to match what I hear in my mind. And then I just add on to it. Most of my ideas just start with me just having a vision or something I want to make. So I go to the piano, write out the chords and stuff that I want to do. And then it just goes from there.
Yeah. What is your favorite instrument the piano, or do you have another favorite instrument?
It's hard to say what my favorite instrument is because I do play multiple instruments.
Tell me about what you play. What instruments do you play?
The drums, piano, saxophone, and bass. That's the instruments I've touched so far.
So you basically you play some of the coolest instruments in the world. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You play some of the coolest. If I was able to play the bass, I'd probably stop talking to everybody in this room. Because I would love to know how to play the bass. Oh, boom, boom. I always thought that was the coolest thing. Boom, boom. When you get those boom, that's my bass impersonation, by the way. But I like the bass. And the saxophone, though, that's air control and everything. Pushing the air, and knowing how to play. What drew you to the saxophone?
My school.
Your school?
Yeah, they had band class.
Okay.
Yeah, they offered me band class for grade 6 in middle school.
Okay.
And I was choosing between either the saxophone or the trombone. But sometimes I still wish I had picked the trombone, but the saxophone cool too.
Do you like the sound the saxophone emits? Do you like the sultry sound of a saxophone? Do you like that sound?
Yeah, I think the sound of a saxophone can sometimes be very soothing, especially in an environment of jazz and genres like that.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any favorite artists that you like that inspire you in any kind of way?
I don't know. I've listened to a lot of different artists
Fair enough.
and albums.
Yeah.
I do have a wide music taste.
Why? And that's probably why you're able to produce what you are. You incorporate everything. You're not set in one corner. You like the spectrum of sound and the spectrum of the concept of music. You know, and that's beautiful. What would you like to see yourself? You're 14 now. Where would you like to see yourself at 20 years old?
You know, I definitely want to see myself as a successful producer. I also want to mix and master people's projects.
Okay.
I generally want to help out here with music and stuff. Because, you know, like they said, America is really oversaturated. Because everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody wants to be musician, studio engineer.
Right.
I think South Africa needs a lot of these things. I think South Africa needs, you know, some American influence, introduced to new things that get tried out. And I think South Africa needs this.
No,
what I'm planning on to do.
No, I appreciate that. I think that people here would appreciate something. I appreciate something like that and everything. I like where you're going with that of the music that you're doing, man. I commend you. Now, my last question for you: at school, the fact that you just got here. Well, I got two questions. Well, one is how you enjoying South Africa. Okay, let me ask you that question first.
So far, I love it. I think it's really good. Ever since I got off the plane, and I just felt the atmosphere, the people around, I knew this was home to me.
You think there's a place you would stay?
Oh, yeah.
Does it feel like home to you?
Yeah.
It does feel like home to you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And my other question to you is, you're in school out here?
Not yet, but I do start next month.
Oh, congratulations. I look forward to hearing back, reporting how school is and everything and your experiences. I know a lot of mothers out there watch this show and they have children and they want to relocate and everything. And they want to know what is the child experience, you know, in South Africa, you know. So, and later in time, I would love to hear a report on that type of situation as well. So that'll be really, really cool, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, Tank. And we're looking for that album, by the way. So if you got a little sample track or whatever, you can always send it to Live Well. You can always send it to us.
I wanted to say this. I know time is upon us at this point, but it almost choked me up hearing my son speaking on that, because a lot of times as parents, we make the decisions for the family. A lot of times the kids, you know, they just have to follow off the decisions that their parents make. And a lot of times kids internalize things. You know what I mean? He had friends and stuff at home that he was actually friends, you know, that he kicked it with and went out with. He had to leave all that. Just as we had to leave a lot of stuff, so did he.
Right.
You know,
I can see that. I can understand that.
So seeing that, it almost choked me up. But this is a powerful thing right now with my son and him speaking. Because in the States, you know, you see LeBron James and Bronny James coming together in the NBA, doing things together, father and son. And so me and my son, bring him over here, Smooth Stone Entertainment, shameless plug.
Right. Let's talk a little about Smooth Stone before we go.
Right. So for him to come and my son to come apart and working with his father and making this dream and vision that we have come alive, man, it messes with you, man. It messes with your emotions,
But you bookended, my brother. You know, you bookended. You got your father on one side, your family, your elders that you brought out here, and then you brought your youngest seeds out here as well. You know, on both sides, and that's just beautiful. And with that being said, and you had mentioned Smooth Stone for a minute, which I wanted to just go into briefly, is that I know you have plans as doing stuff as father and son as far as Smooth Stone. Tell everybody about Smooth Stone Entertainment, because I know you do music, but when people hear about, oh, I do music, that could be kind of vague. I want people to know exactly what you do and where you are in the realm of the music industry.
Yeah. In the music industry in America, I'm a Stellar Award nominated writer and producer.
And please explain what is Stellar. I know what it is.
Yes. Stellar Award is the one of the highest prestigious award for a gospel artist in the gospel arena. And I had the opportunity to lead my group that I co-founded and led, and we actually received accolades. Not only Stellar Award nominated, but also KIA Award winners. Number one music over in the islands. So again, there's a vast resume that I have in music, in musicality. So I led a group of guys for 20 years with success. Billboards. Billboards is one of the top, networks where, as far as music is concerned. Right. So chartings and things of that nature. So I have experience in doing that. So the most I downloaded a vision, a call for me to come here. Of course, you talking about doing business. So with me being here, I'm thinking my business here. Right. There's so many talented artists here, musicians, they call them here, singers and musicians. Oh man, listen, it's crazy here. It's crazy here. But I think a lot of times from my conversation, the integrity of music is missing. As we know, in America, the business is corrupt. It's called this be 100 about it. Very correct. It's corrupt.
It's a corrupt business, but the content that we're putting out now, or I should say, not we, I should say the record labels or the elites or the powers that be are choosing to play as if these are our choices, are not our choices. Right. And they're putting money behind artists that are offending our women and our men, just our culture. In general, and they saying that's the number one song. No, man, and that's see the integrity of music. When you think about music is heavenly. It comes from the heaven. You know what I mean? That's where music comes from. Music should be able to give you a frequency and a vibe to be able to connect, to be able to love. If you have a bad day and you put on a good album, it should change your whole swag. It should change your whole mindset because music is full of frequencies and vibrations. Music is the soundtrack of my life.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. So the frequencies out here, we want to be able to actually bring that vibe of good frequency. I know out here they have a popular genre called Amapiano. Yes. That they're actually pushing their own genre, which is beautiful to see South Africa pushing their own genre of music. So like my son was saying, we want to blend R&B, we want to blend gospel, we want to blend hip hop, we want to blend reggae, we want to blend all these Afrocentric beats and let's come together and bring integrity of music back, not what the elites have put on our people. Because if you be honest, the elites are even out here actually monopolizing things and turning our people out.
Oh, absolutely.
Out here.
I've heard on the radio. I've seen the propaganda machine work on our people out here. I've seen people that people out here do love American culture. Right. But at the same time, not all American culture is good culture to admit.
Exactly. So this, as an exec, as a CEO of Smooth Stone Entertainment, we're a conglomerate of things. We're a conglomerate of shows, events, concerts, parties, publishing, royalties.
So you're like a Live Nation.
Everything you're coming. One stop shop. Filming. You talk about
educational component.
Educational. Right. We teach young people the business side of the industry. If you have a vision, we could teach you how to be on stage, how to showmanship, how to produce yourself, how to make beats and stuff. So all this thing, we're bringing all this to South Africa to help uplift our people and not to so much, I'm going to use this word, to colonize them. Like we have everything. We come to join forces.
We're trying to join forces in the story.
Yes, together.
That's really what it is at the end of the day. There's the two sticks coming together.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the reality of it. Yeah. So, I applaud you guys on this journey of what you guys are doing. I would love to have you guys come back again and share more, Miss Shy Dr. Stone.
So they save some shots in your vision.
She has more to share. Talk to more about women in diaspora and them coming out here, what their experiences being. We'll do that at a later time. But I also want to know more about you being a doctor, how that came about, I think that's a journey in itself and deserves its own respect. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. I'm so happy to have you guys out here in Africa and what's happening in South Africa to say. And I hope only the very best for Smooth Stone and what you guys got going on. And if there's any information that you guys want me to have to put down in the comments below or anything like that, we'll make that work as well too.
Man, living well. Hey, thank you for having us.
Are you living well?
Living well. I'm doing the best I can. You hear me?
Tank, go take the mic. Tank, I got one question, Tank. Are you living well?
Yeah, I'm living well.
He's so cool. Dr. Stone, Mom, how are you?
I'm well.
Living well?
We're living well.
Then we're living well. That's what we're here to do.
Positive influence and help here. Living
I love
well.
it. You can't say no better than that. Pleasure, brother. Pleasure. Hey, this is Marcello Thedford again with a special episode of Live Well. And like I always say, live well. Talk soon.
I've kept